Never mind me while I'm stepping out my circumference. I feel the nerves trickling down. It's life humbling. My words stutter, stumbling, staggered and caught off guard. This the life of a jigaboo, introverted and scarred. Whoa, my murder been the melodies while they sing the choruses. Direct message from Slade saying we need more of it. Paranoia in my state, I see envy at high rates. Now it's crop off the fate, turn great so I fly straight. Was gone for a minute, now I'm back like an ex with big factors. I see you turn flat like extinct like some raptors. When I drop through prayer, precision, practice and patience, we move to greener pastures. They saying life is a matter of mastering basics and mastering patience. More time I get tired of waiting. Maybe it's fate procrastinating. The times are bad, so it really had me sprung like she got me doing things that I never do. You thought that we connected when in fact it was trauma bonding. Just leave it up to me to break the rules, never corresponding. My childhood filled with fence climbs and knee scrapes and bikes and kicking it by the street signs. The older I get, I'm trying to lessen any screen time. The bounce back heavy, I rock steady on climb. This one's a fucking loop, the news will pick and choose whatever truth they wanna give to you. I cannot stomach it, so I poop. Oops. When life turns sweeter, the lemon mouths get louder. But I'm amplified with ghosts from God like that boy Fowler. Working like I got that point to prove. But truth be told, the proof is right in the pudding, no point to lose. 60 for the crepes, yeah, I did that just because. She expecting more, girl, you know I'm saving up. Left me on red, well, it was what it was. Never stress over them joints or in downs when times get rough, so I ghost. Long are the days when we was close, and when I see you, it's like two completely different type of goats. I approach the weekly fire dropping, which I'm feeding. Still, I don't expect to be the one, your boy having fun. Still, the songs get spun like Beyblades and teacups. My fun fair to those that ever really know me from jump. So what's up, I've been the one they all depended on like TJ. Now they're dead wilder than a furry knockout punch, leaving them straight stunned. It's hella fun. Now you know I'm coming through. When the growth look good on you, best believe they wanna screw now. I've been trying to climb, devil threw me in the dark. Baby, don't be insecure, you can still go make a mark like blow. Could never let them drain my soul now. Blow. Tables turning like doorknobs, wow. Blow. I think I'm about to set sail. I'm a walking, living legend, walking with my chest out. Life keeps dealing me cards, I keep feeling it.
What's going on, people? Good morning to everybody in the building. I hope everyone is well. Sun is shining over here in London anyway. From wherever you are, I hope the sun is shining and is beating down. Guys, man, it's a good day, man. It's a good day, man. Chilled vibes. You already know. You can see what we're talking about in the caption already, and that's the 5 defensive targets for Liverpool this summer. Don't worry, we'll be getting into later on in the summer anyway. We'll get into like more depth about some of these players, and of course other players that Liverpool might be in for, players that we might be linked with and all that kind of stuff. But today I just thought, you know what, a bit of a chilled one. Hopefully won't make this one too long, but we just look at 5 defensive targets. And by the way, when I say defensive, I just mean defenders. I don't mean midfielders or anything like that. We'll obviously look at that tomorrow, and then we'll look at the forward line on Wednesday, I believe. Yeah, Wednesday. We'll take a look. No, Wednesday or Thursday, whenever that is. So yeah, we'll take a look at that. But today, purely just defensive targets. If you've got any targets and you're watching this on the replay, please let me know in the comment section, man. Let me know exactly who you think we should potentially be looking at. Are there any players out there that might be, you know, I don't know, just available? Are there any players who contracts are running out and you think, you know what, Liverpool should, you know, hop in for these kind of guys? Let me know, man. Let me know in the comment section. But as I said, big up to everybody inside. Make sure you smash a like, make sure you share and subscribe to the channel, man. Who's in the building? Big up Storm in a teacup DM. You heard what I said. As I said, we'll look at that tomorrow. We'll look at the DM positions, all midfield positions, in terms of which players we should potentially target. Again, I remember I did this, excuse me, I remember I did this last season, well, last summer, should I say, and out of all of the targets, I think there was only one, and the only one was Zabozalai. That was the earliest. I'm hoping that over the next like couple of days or a few days, I have about altogether, I have 15 targets at this point. Of course, it'll probably go up as the summer kind of goes on and stuff like that. And as we take a look at different targets, but I'm hoping I can get a better success rate. Do you know what I mean? 1 out of, was it, 15 last summer? Obviously, of course, you can't get everybody, and you know, I'm even happy if you even get 2 or 3 kind of thing. But I'm just hoping that maybe I'm somewhere in the ballpark for some of these players and stuff like that. So yeah, man, let's hope to see what happens there. Big up Richard in the building. Good morning to yourself. Hi everyone. We need to sell some deadwood in our squad and rebuild. I would like a left-sided centre back, a left back, a right back, a number 6, a right winger, and a number 9. We give players time to adapt into our team, but some are not good enough to wear the badge. Big one, big one. Big up ends, man. Big up wins. Yeah, I just see your message as well, by the way, man. Hope you're having a good walk, man. Hope you're having a good walk. Big up scraps in the building, and big up slot in the building. So yeah, man, like I said, we saw, I think Fabrizio was the one I saw anyway. There was obviously maybe other journalists and stuff like that. They put out that Liverpool are, of course, looking at potential centre-back signings for this summer. So obviously it got me thinking, and I was like, it's crazy because, you know, you've seen the shows that I've done, you've seen the show that Enz has done, you've seen the show that, you know, various other people have done. And we're talking about, you know, different players in our team currently who can fit into different roles. So obviously yesterday we spoke about Harvey Elliott, we've spoken about Joe Gomez, we've spoken about Fabio Carvalho, Tyler Morton out on loan, Bajcetic obviously playing, you know, some minutes the other day. So many different players that we have already at the club or out on loan to still come back in. I don't know, and this is look, this is just for fun and stuff like that. But I don't know what Liverpool are necessarily going to do when it comes to the transfer market. I don't really know what their angle is. I'll be honest with you, because it 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 does seem confusing purely because, as I said, we've got all of these players, some who are obviously brand new. I know there's a lot of players in the team that a lot of people don't really like. I know, Richard, you're obviously saying there, you know, we need to sell some of the deadwood. Who's considered to be deadwood? You get, is it Vandenberg? Is it a Joe Gomez? You know, I have no idea. And of course, speaking on players like Gomez and say players like Kelleher, you know, these are the kind of players who may potentially be looking to move on, you know, in the summer. So will we have to find a replacement for them? Well, especially Kelleher. We definitely would have to find a second goalkeeper, but in general, there's going to be other players with a new manager coming in, with new thought processes, with a new style of play, with just everything being so new. Michael Edwards coming in. What's he thinking? Does he really even like Nunes? Does he want to get rid of a Nunes? Does he want to keep him? Does he want to keep a Diaz? I have no idea. And I think that's what makes it kind of confusing. And that's why I can understand like the pessimism around the fan base when it comes to this summer. I can also see the flip side, the you know, the optimism, you know, as well. But I can see the pessimism because I'm just like, it kind of makes sense. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it'll be difficult to really look at it on the flip side and say, yeah, everything's going to be great. Michael Edwards is back and he's going to do all these amazing and wonderful things. And it's like, might not be able to really do that. You know what I mean? Does it even seem feasible to do some of that? Like, are we going to have to let go of some of the big stars? Obviously, we're still, to our knowledge, we're still operating under the same kind of perimeters that Jurgen Klopp was operating under, which is sell to buy kind of, you know, and only really every now and again will we spend more than we actually sell. You know, last summer obviously being a fine example of doing so, you know, getting in that whole midfield. But I mean, we sold, you know, the rest of the midfield. So yeah, it's a tricky one, man. I'll be honest with you, it is a proper tricky one. I don't know how it's going to go. Again, let me know in the chat if there's any players pop up or whatever. We could talk about it, see what they're saying, see what they're kind of doing, and then we can go from there. But let's start off. Big up Michael Talks, of course, in the building, guys. Make sure you're subscribed to his channel, please. Scrap saying is Robbo Deadwood. He's had a handful at best of decent to okay games last 2 seasons. I don't know. This is what I'm saying. It's funny because we'll get into one of the positions in a minute, but yeah, it's a tricky one. I don't know. And also, by the way, there's players that I would love Liverpool to sign, by the way. There are players, but I'm also realistic. I understand. I would love for us to sign Alphonso Davies. I don't know how realistic that is, so I wouldn't put him on a list like this. Of course, not to say it's, you know, out of the realms of possibility, but I just don't know what that kind of a fee and all of that, you know, would look like, you know, in retrospect. So I haven't put him, those kind of players, and Musiala and all those kind of guys, I would leave off of the list, just because I don't know what our list even looks like, you know, kind of thing. So it is what it is. Big up KLN Sleepy. Centre back, left back is a priority. I hear it. William Pacho. I just tell you now, Michael. I don't have him on the list. Yeah, he isn't someone I've looked at enough to put him on a list. Not to say I don't think he's good, by the way. Just I haven't put him on a list to really say, yeah, that's someone I would personally go for. But again, like I say, more names. Keep throwing these names out. There's more players that I want to take a look at. There's more players. Do I think they can work in this kind of system? You know, guys, let me know. Let me know. And of course, KLN is of course agreeing with you. So let's start off. As I said, guys, I don't want to keep you guys for too long. So hopefully this won't be a long stream. I think we'll start off with this one actually. We'll start off with this one. Gertruda of Feyenoord. Gertruda of Feyenoord. So obviously I've put him in the list. I'm kind of 50-50 with someone like him, which is weird because what you'd be like, well, why'd you put him, on your list in the first place? But the reason why I put him on the list is just purely because obviously with the links that have obviously come out, as of recently with, of course, his links to the manager coming in, the positions that he can play. I'm just like, this might seem like someone that taking a look at him over the last, like, say, couple of days. I'll be honest. And by the way, just in terms of Feyenoord, I think I've seen 2 matches this season. 2 matches. So everything I've seen is just purely based off of highlights and scouting reports and stuff like that. But when we're looking at someone like Gertruda, of course, yeah, and big up Scraps. Yeah. I took you'll see anyway when I'm looking at the attributes and stuff like that. This is all taken from Football Manager, guys. So take it with a pinch of salt if you want. See it how you want to see it. It's totally up to you. But this is a guy who can play centre back, right back, slot into DM, right wing back if you want to, if it's not the same as a right back. So I'm looking at something like that, and I'm just like, and big up Ends and Jerry were speaking the other day about, having players who can just slot into a position. None of this, okay, he can play right back, left back, centre back, DM, left wing, right wing. Like, I do want players who can just play in one position. But I know how football kind of works. We know how football works. We know that they kind of do want them to at least be able to play 2 positions at the bare minimum, kind of thing. Unless you're a centre back and it's like, I'm just a centre back. Virgil van Dijk can't play left back, can't play right back. That's fine because you're an ultimate centre back. If it's one of those kind of things, not a problem. Haaland can't play left wing or right wing. But guess what? You're the best at playing striker. So we'll leave things, at that. So when I'm looking at someone like a Gertruda, obviously he's not on those kind of levels. But when I'm looking at him in general, I'm just like, okay, looks like a neat and tidy defender, comfortable as hell in possession. That's what I'll definitely say about him. Comfortable, obviously comfortable on the ball, good progressive passing stats that he's got as well. We can see here, just obviously by the attributes here, concentration, pretty decent at 15, determination, good at 15, off the ball at 14. What other ones? Heading was one. I don't know why it just popped into my head. I was like, I don't know why, but I feel like we're going to need someone who's good at heading at the bare minimum. Obviously, natural fitness is good, balance, agility, all really good. And I think with someone like this, why I wouldn't mind a player like this is because you will immediately have someone who will understand the tactics from the off. Obviously, all he will be adjusting to is things like adjusting to the Premier League and stuff like that. Of course, that's its own thing in itself. But if he can at least adjust to the tactics, I feel like it will make it a lot more easier for him to be able to adjust, to the Premier League. So that's why I've got, someone like him in there. You can see obviously these are the positions that he's played this season. As I said, played 45 times, got himself 8 goals and 5 assists, left back, centre back and right back. I know I'm saying it's like I don't want too many positions, but at the same time, I mean, he's only played left back a few times this season. He's predominantly played, over there at right back. And I've seen him even when Feyenoord are on the ball, he shifts, obviously the inverted thing that we all love to talk about with Trent and stuff like that. You can see he moves into that central part of the pitch, and you can see by the heat map at the top there that he's comfortable in those kind of areas. And that's, again, something that I'm looking at, because when I look at, say, a Bradley as an example, where I think Bradley will be a somewhat decent wing back or just a fullback, whatever you want to call it, I don't see him being comfortable coming infield. He doesn't, obviously, he's not really that good on the ball, in my personal opinion. So when I'm looking at him, I'm kind of just like, okay, yeah, fair enough. Like, you're okay. He's still young, by the way. I'm not trying to, crash it on him, at all, but he's still young. So if you're still kind of young and whatever, if you've got a guy who can If you've got a guy who can, of course, play that position already, and as I said, understanding of the tactics, I'm kind of easy with it, man. I'm kind of easy with it. I don't know what his fee again would look like for Liverpool. I don't see it being a crazy fee where we're like, oh yeah, we can't afford someone like this. I think he's someone who could be well within our reach, if I'm being totally honest with you. You can see here with this, obviously the stuff that I highlighted, progressive passing, as I mentioned, pass completion, passes attempted, assists. You know, he ranks really high. 99th percentile for quite a few of these things. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So this is, again, obviously due to the tactics that they play over at Feyenoord, he understands them very, very well. So that's why I'm looking at someone like him and I'm just like, yo, okay, cool. You know what I mean? Let him come in and try and do his thing, if I'm being totally honest with you. But again, you guys let me know in regards to someone like Gudde. Do you think that would be a good signing? Do you like him? Do you think maybe we could do potentially better? Again, I'm just throwing out names, and also I'm trying not to go too crazy and overboard with, you know, some of the players that I would like for Liverpool to sign. I'm trying to stay within the realms of possibility where it's like, okay, we can at least get these kind of guys. And when I was looking at this, by the way, defensively really good. Look at the way he brings the ball out here. Comfortable. I can't imagine anyone bar Kwanzaa doing something like that. And I think obviously he might be, well, without speaking too far ahead, I feel like he might be better than obviously than a Kwanzaa. And obviously Kwanzaa's only 20 years of age kind of thing. He's got pace as well. So it's not like he's someone who can't get himself back. He can read the game pretty well. And as I mentioned before, that comfortability in the middle of the park, if Slot is going to play with inverted fullbacks at any given time, and it's not going to be Trent, if, for example, Trent is in midfield or he's benched or whatever the case may be, or even if Gudde has to play at centre-back for any given reason, at least you know you've got someone else there who is comfortable on the ball. I don't think it's going to be great just having one. Obviously, you've got Virgil van Dijk, but if you only got one other player in there who is relatively comfortable, I'm a little bit like, ish. So then what your options are? Konate? Gomez? I don't know. I don't know about, you know, about all of that, guys. So as I said, man, let me know. Let me know. Quickly go through some of the comments. Big up Football Talk podcast, guys. Make sure, again, you head on over there to subscribe to their channel. Please, please, please. Honestly saying Gudde, Diamonde, Hanko, and Gay. All good choices. All good choices. Yeah, literally all good choices. Think we got enough Dutchman at the club. I know. Listen, but hey, what's some more? Eh? What's some more? Big up social joins in the building. KLN saying, I don't think Dutch players do well in the Prem. Yeah, that was again another thing. But I'm hoping this is kind of like a new era, bro. I'm obviously hoping that this is just a new era. I'm hoping that this is just one of those things where you're like, oh yeah, no, these guys will be calm. They'll be good to go. Yeah, do you know what I mean? So yeah, like I said, I'm not saying this one wasn't, that's why I put him at like number 5 kind of thing. Like this was more of just a, yeah, if you get him in, I'm not going to be, you know, crying my eyes out and be like, oh, why did you get him? I'll be like, no, I think it's just like a solid type of signing. Hit the ground running. It would all depend on whether he was to start and how the team is obviously going to play and stuff like that. Richard saying, don't buy any injured or injury prone players. God, how many of those are there out there? I'll tell you that much. How many of those are actually out there? How many of those are actually out there? Football Talk saying Gudde is an interesting one, but he would come across as a jack of all trades type of player, similar profile to Gomez. Yeah, 100%, 100%. I just think he's better on the ball than a Gomez. I think he'd be better in forward areas than a Gomez, and I think he'd be more comfortable going infield than a Gomez. And you can play him in a couple positions. You see how we tried to play Gomez at DM. Yeah, that was an absolute shit show. If I'm being totally honest with you, that was an absolute shit show. I don't think, based on what I've seen of Gudde so far, I don't feel like that would look out of place where he's going to be like, oh my goodness, I'm really not comfortable in this kind of position, you know, kind of thing. So yeah, man, big up Bonkers in the building. Michael Talk saying good all-round game. Yeah, like I said, I just think he's one of those kind of players. But this is maybe if a Gomez was to leave, you'd just be bringing in someone like for like in that kind of sense, but just better technically than him. Would I say he's a better defender? I'd say they're probably like equal. If I'm being, from what I've seen, they just look kind of like an equal in terms of their defending. Hashashin, I hope we don't become Holland FC. Yeah, I know, guys. I know. Richard, we will buy development players, potential, budget, and age range. I hope not. I hope not. I don't really want to become too much like a Chelsea. Although Chelsea have some very good youngsters, I know we criticize and we crash it on them for where they are in the league, but when you actually look at them, some of those players you would blatantly take at Liverpool and just add them to what we've got because they've got some really good youngsters in their team. It's just Pochettino, Chelsea, it really isn't, doing well over there. Bonk is saying we probably keep Gomez because he does multi-position. I hear it. I just think more for Gomez though. Will he look at it and think I'd rather go somewhere and play? He might want to just play centre back. He might just want to play right back. Do you know? I have no idea with Joe Gomez. I don't really know what that's looking like. And again, like I said, with the reports about us looking at a new centre back in the summer, he might look at it and think, bro, I wasn't even getting in with the injuries that we had. And with the current team, I wasn't getting in at centre back at all. I definitely was not going to play there. They didn't trust me. New gaffer, maybe, but it didn't really look too great. So depending on how that conversation goes, I guess you just have to, wait and see in regards to that. Ali A saying, I can see us going for him if Slot tells, i.e. Edwards or Hughes to go for him. It would have to be high on the metrics data to go for him under Edwards. I know. Listen, this summer we're all going to be turning into analysts. I promise you. You're going to see content creators like myself. We're going to be out there with our data on our laptop saying, all right, cool. So he's got a 15 in this. So that must mean like it will look like this. I'll show you. It'll be looking at stuff like this, right? And then it'll be like, all right, cool. So we need someone who, are there like in the technical area? It might be like, all right, dribbling, only a 9. I don't know, man. We're looking for a 12. We're looking for a 12. I promise you, it's going to be, without being disrespectful to Edwards and what they do. But in my mind, it sounds very similar to what I would be doing on Football Manager. And again, I'm just being very simplistic at that. It sounds very alike because I'll be like, yeah, I need someone whose heading is at least 14. I need these attributes to be a 14. And I maybe need these attributes to be at minimum a 13. Boom, let's see the database and then go from there kind of thing. That's in my mind. That's how I feel like it's going to go. But, we'll kind of see how that is. Honestly saying Gertruda or Gitch, aka the kid from Rotterdam South, my island brother. Don't know who that is, but yeah, let me know what team plays for. Pace is so important for defenders nowadays. 100% agree. 100%. Of course it is. You kind of need to be. And if you're not pacey, you need to be some dope defender. Like you actually do. Antonio Silva, haven't got him on the list. His release clause is 85 million. I don't know if we've paid that. I don't know if we see him like that at this moment in time. It's not like a Virgil who had a lot more experience, especially in the Premier League, where you really go out and say, bang, that's a leader. Maybe if he was a little bit older, a bit more experienced. I know he's been playing from such a young age. I don't know. But I would like someone like Silva. Again, I don't know if we'd spend, that kind of money. Scraps is saying, people say Elise is injury prone, but he's had 2 injuries other than a foot infection. Yeah, I know. It depends on what you want to define as injury prone. For me, injury prone is like Thiago, Matip. I'd still call Joe Gomez injury prone. I don't think he can shake that tag off just yet. I'd still need to see. I'd need to see like 2 seasons where your injuries are not reoccurring, kind of thing. We've seen 1, that's great, but 1 is never enough. Who else? Jota, maybe, if you want to say maybe he's kind of injury prone, but also a bit unlucky with that one. Kanate again is on the borderline where I'm like, would I call it injury prone or is it like a bit of both? Again, depends on how you kind of see it. Mark Simmons, Van Persie, VVD, Bergkamp, etc. are ballers. How can you say Dutchman no bueno? True, but I mean, outside of VVD, I mean, you named 2 players. This was time ago, and to be fair, Van Persie was very injury prone, very, very, very injury prone, like super injury prone. To be fair, CFC is now hitting some form. Yeah, I know. If Chelsea get things clicked, maybe, I don't know if a new manager will change that, but if they can get things clicking, boy, I think there'll be a problem. I think there'll be a massive problem. Scraps, sorry, foot inflammation, not foot infection. Hey, big up Gramps in the building. Hope you're well this morning. A left-footed centre-back and a DM is priority. G, would you keep Endo and send Bajcetic on loan or keep Bajcetic and rotate with a new DM? I'd rather send Bajcetic out on loan, I'll be honest with you. I'll be vaguely honest. I'd rather send him out on loan just because I just think that he's not going to get the minutes that I think we want him to get. So I'm just like, well, what does that do for your development? Because you've spent 1 season basically out of football. Cool. then the next season you're going to be playing here and there and blah, blah, blah. Unless someone gets injured, I'd rather just go and buy a new DM, man, and then just keep Endo, buy a new DM, send Bajcetic out on loan. I feel like that's what some of the top clubs would do, though. Like, you'd have your star boy there and like a Bajcetic, because we're not that type of team where I'm like, oh, we're Brighton, where, yeah, just play him. He's young. Nah, I feel like he's not that level yet. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I think there are more layers to someone like a Bajcetic. So I would send him out on loan and then bring in a new DM, solid DM. And then at least then you've got Bajcetic. Even if he does come back the following season and is being rotated, you can trust him a bit more. At the moment, I don't know about all of that. I wouldn't be putting my stocks into him at this current moment in time, as good as I think he is. But that's not to say that, you know, it happens. I'm not going to complain. Richard, we need to stop leaking goals. 100%. That's going to happen with the style of play. Van Dijk and Gakpo seem close to Gertruda when they see each other at Netherlands camp. Yeah, well, I saw Jude Bellingham and Trent Alexander-Arnold going to concerts together. Who knows? Me and Gertruda are from the same island, and we call him, the kid. Oh, okay. I thought this was another player that you're talking about. Jota, says Wayne. Jota and Kanate are injury-prone players. Richard's asking, will Richard Hughes, Michael Edwards, FSG and Arne Slot spend big this summer window, or will we spend on a budget different area on the pitch? Again, this is what I'm saying. No idea. Gee, they're saying a centre-back and attacker priority this summer from Fabrizio's thoughts. Yeah, that makes sense to me. They need a number 9, in my opinion, and you need one other defender at least. And that defender, in my opinion, even though I'm naming this guy here, and we're going to move on to the next one now, I would be looking at a starting centre-back for next season and someone who just is not injury-prone, bro. Like, I can't stand all of this injury-prone stuff. Like, it's actually very, very annoying. But let's move on to the next player. Don't worry, guys. If I miss out any of the questions, I will. I'm just starring everything right now. Okay, cool. Anything I miss, I'll try and go back through it again. Next player, who should we go to? This is one of my favorite players. Scalvini. I've always wanted him. always wanted him. Plays for Atalanta. We didn't get to see him in the game against us in the Europa League, and I was dying. I was like, as soon as we got Atalanta, I said, boom, Scalvini. Let's see what he's like. You know what I mean, against us. And I'm hoping that he'll be able to show. Like, I was hoping that he would have a really good performance. Obviously, I was hoping we'd go through, but he'd be like a standout for them. So yeah, that he is a player I've always, for a long time, maybe like for the last like year, I've followed him. Just specifically him though, just in terms of how's he doing this week, how's he doing that week, and all that kind of stuff. I think he's one of those kind of players that in the future, he is going to be like, in my opinion, I don't know too much about Italy and whatnot. I think that he could be a starting centre-back for Italy, and he's not just a centre-back. This guy can slot into midfield, in my opinion, more comfortably than a Gertruda, in my personal opinion. I've seen him even start games in midfield. And I think when you've got someone comfortable, when he does play in midfield, and anytime, this was more last season, to be fair. Last season, when I saw him playing in that kind of midfield area, he was doing box to box, but he looked like a normal midfielder. Like, if you just watch the games as a one-off, you'd think, oh, who's that centre midfielder? You wouldn't think, oh, this is actually a centre-back. This is actually a guy who normally plays in that kind of centre-back position. But for me, absolutely dope. And I can see him being almost like he plays, like, he's so mature with the way he kind of plays the game. Concentration, good. Determination, good. Positioning, good. Teamwork, good. Work rate, good. Tackling, good. Got a bit of technique about him. First touch, he's got a little bit about him. Heading, dribbling, 12. Again, looking at guys who are comfortable in the back line, we may need that. Stamina, natural fitness, jumping reach, all very, very good attributes about Scalvini, man. But yeah, I think he's solid. I know he's had a bit of injuries and stuff like that this season. Well, I say a bit, just like, I think maybe 1 or 2 injuries this season. Played 37 times, got himself a goal and 3 assists. Obviously, played centre-back mainly this whole season. You can see the heat map as well, mostly on that right-hand side. Again, looking for that partner for Virgil. I'm not saying Kwanzaa cannot be the partner, guys. I don't want anyone to take anything I'm saying and think, oh, you want to get rid of... No. I just think he's at a higher level than a Kwanzaa, in my opinion, purely because he's had more experience. And you can see with the way that he plays, he's a much more experienced player. Not to say that Kwanzaa can't be good, you know, for us moving forward. And obviously, you just see here some of the highlight stats and progressive carries, successful take-ons. This is for centre backs. You know, this guy's ranked to the 92nd percentile. Crazy touches in the attacking penalty area, progressive passes, tackles, interceptions, aerial duels, 1 assists. Like I said, man, in my personal opinion, a solid option. I don't know what the fee would be on someone like a Scalvini, though. That's where I'm a bit like, eesh, okay, I don't know if that's going to cost you a pretty penny. I'm hoping if that was a deal that we could potentially make happen, I would say that, man. Like I said, when he plays in that centre back role, bro, like I think you people, when you watch it, even just go watch that YouTube highlights or whatever. Like I've taken obviously all these videos from YouTube highlights. Big up to all those video makers out there. But when you watch this guy, man, like comfortable in possession, good defender first. That's my key thing. Can you defend? It's all well and good, yeah. Like Kwanzaa can defend, as well as he's nice on the ball and he can play passes and he can do all of that kind of stuff. But can you actually defend? Like if I put you in a 1v1 situation, can you actually, you know, handle that? I'm telling you now, Scalvini can handle that, these 1v1 situations. As I said, he's got this level of maturity about him that makes me think to myself, yo, you're not just looking at a guy who can partner Virgil, you're looking at potentially a future captain. Don't know him in terms of personality and all that kind of stuff, fair enough. But when I just watch him on the pitch, I'm just like, this isn't a guy who's scared. This isn't a guy who shies away. Doesn't really, even I've seen him play for Italy, doesn't even really care that, oh yeah, I might be playing with some of the big dogs. Doesn't really matter that aura that he kind of has about him, in my personal opinion. Really good, man. And as I said, positionally, really good. Really good. KLN saying stats look good. Yeah, the stats for most of these are going to look really good. Italian players don't play good. I know. I'm trying to break the stigma, you know. I'm trying to break the stigma with some of these guys. Trying to break the stigma. Italian players don't really leave Italy, G. I know. Can a brother just dream? Can a brother just dream, like just once? Do you know what I mean? Can I just dream that we get these kind of guys? Yesterday was jokes with United losing 4 on their head top and Saeed TV. Listen, Man United are just, they're a failure of a football club. Right now, anyway, they're a failure of a football club. They've got no hope. Liverpool 67, good morning to you. If you the chance, would you swap Diaz for Koundé? If I knew we was getting in another forward, then yes. Yeah, if I was getting in like another winger forward or whatever, then yeah, I would plainly do that. Richard, who will be leaving the club in the summer? I don't know. I don't know. That's a job for you guys. You guys tell me who should be leaving the club. If we're just looking at defensive targets, guys, and again, like I said, we'll move on to midfield and stuff in tomorrow's one. If you're just looking at defenders, who would you let go this summer? Forget the fee and all of that. Just who would you let go in the summer? Let me know what you guys are thinking in the chat. Would you take De Ligt for a cut price? He is Dutch and a centre back as well. I think we could get him for 40-50 mil. If it's 40, yeah, I'll get a De Ligt, because De Ligt is a bit, I feel like he's a bit of a leader. And you know what I mean? He's calm on the ball as well. His time at Bayern has been a little bit hit and miss, if I'm being totally honest with you. But yeah. I wouldn't mind someone like him for 40 mil. 50, I'm like, that better be add-ons. Do you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to just kind of comfortably let him go. KLN saying Matip and Robbo. Yeah, Matip is that's a foregone conclusion. I think Liverpool will be stupid to offer him a new deal. As good as I think Matip is, as solid as I think Matip is, I'm not really trying to see Matip next season. I'll be honest with you. I think that would be such a big waste of wages. But he's a good defender. Costas as well. Nat Phillips, Joey G, and Matip. Fairs. People. So Matip is the main one. Robbo's a name that keeps coming up as well. Again, big up Football Talks. Bastoni was another player I looked at. Again, I don't see him as realistic for some weird reason. I know someone just as you Ali A talking about Italian players don't leave. He seemed like that type of guy that he's only going to like Real Madrid or Barcelona if he is to go. But like Scalvini, I can't see him leaving Italy, but we can dream. Yeah, and 100%. But the thing is, I feel like Scalvini would go, well, in terms of, I think he would go to a club like us if we're offering, you know, a decent kind of fee. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And with assurances, if I'm being 100% honest. I think that's why I look at, you know, someone like a Scalvini. I feel like with certain assurances, if we say to him, look, you're going to partner Virgil van Dijk next season, or you're going to rotate with Konate, then yeah, cool. It's crazy that I'm even talking about Konate like this, you know. Imagine this same Konate that we all spoke about in such glowing terms before is the same Konate we're looking at. I'm like, we might need a new centre back. And the fact that the club are even looking at centre back options, I mean, I know you can say because Matip might be leaving or is going to be leaving, you could say yeah, but at the same time, who knows who we will sell? It's LFC. All I know is Nunes going to start in number 9. Don't worry, when we get to that attacking slot, that's actually the hardest one I found anyway, by the way. I couldn't find it off that. So I was like, you know, I'll start with defenders, move to midfielders, and then go to the attack. Otherwise, I was just going to do it in like any order. But I didn't really know when it came to the attack. So people in the chat, again, watching this on the replay, let me know what attackers are out there that I need to be taking a look at over the next couple of days. And I'll see if they will make the list. I see De Ligt being high on the metrics. It's just the price. What will Bayern want? Yeah, 100%, 100%. Let me get this back up. There we go. Yeah, man. Scalvini, man. He's the guy I want. Honestly, he is the guy that I really like. If I wanted a centre back this summer, he's the guy I'm looking at. If I'm just talking about realistic options. Question: would you take Kubasi, or I'm thinking you'll talk about the one from Kubasi from Barcelona, or keep Kwanzaa? I'd keep Kwanzaa regardless. I'm not letting Kwanzaa go. No. Kwanzaa's staying regardless. I'd bring in a Kubasi though, but Kwanzaa's, you know, he's definitely staying 100%. I literally don't get any offers for Nunes for Manager, even they don't rate him. That's mad because on my save, he goes to no, you know what, actually, that's a lie. In my Brighton save, which I'm now like 5 seasons in probably now, he's still at Liverpool. He's their starting striker. He don't score that many goals. Like I've got obviously Ivan Ferguson. He always outscores him every single year. I made this guy's life miserable on my save. Yo, don't be bringing outside life to Football Manager, you know. Leave him alone, man. Leave him alone. But yeah, guys, as I said, Scalvini, that's another player on my list. Let's move on to the next one on the list. We'll go to fullback. So this is one, we already know him. You guys have obviously seen him around the Premier League. And that is Ait-Nouri. Now, big up Savage, because I know Savage is a big fan of Robinson from Fulham. It was a toss-up between those two. Pause. It was between those two players that I was sitting there thinking, who would I rather have? I feel like Ait-Nouri just edged it for me. When we're talking about someone, and obviously this is more based off of this season. I might have gone with Robinson maybe at the beginning of the season, but from what I've seen about Ait-Nouri this season, yeah, I can see this is a well-rounded player. Robinson is really good, by the way, and he was very close to being the one I was going to choose. But when we're talking about a guy, again, when we talk about Liverpool potentially under slot doing the inverted thing, he can do that. I don't think Robinson is going to be that comfortable coming into midfield and doing all that kind of stuff. Not to say he can't do it, just I haven't seen it at all this season from Fulham, but I've seen it from Wolves this season. I've seen Ait-Nouri popping up in attacking midfield positions. I've seen him do exactly what Trent does, where he might start the game fullback, moves into that midfield area, comfortable as hell. Yeah, he reminds me just of like a Trent. He actually reminds me almost, obviously without the passing ability, but they're quite similar in that kind of way. Good technique about him, dribbling, as you can see, he's at 15, crossing at 14, first touch, really, really good. Heading, pretty decent at 11. Marking, pretty good as well. Passing, pretty good. Although the marking the other day against Manchester City, that tackle, work rate, okay. Vision, okay. Teamwork, okay. Positioning, really good at 14. Off the ball, 14. Flair, 15. Determination. What else we got? Pace, natural fitness. Jumping does need to be worked on a little bit. Crazy because his heading's 11, but his jumping reach isn't that high. It's crazy. Agility and acceleration, obviously all there. As I said, I think this is a solid option, and I feel like this is almost like a realistic signing for Liverpool if we are to move. And as KLN says here, you're talking about a proven fullback. We're talking about a guy who's put Mo Salah in his pocket in games before. Do you get him? You talk about the best right wing, one of the best right wingers out there. Put him in his pocket in a couple of games that I've seen. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Big up Scraps, because that's exactly what I think. I almost think that he would go to a Manchester City, and you'll notice exactly why they signed someone. Like if they were to go for like a traditional fullback and not like a Vardio who can play there, he'd probably be like, you know, someone who would be perfect for that kind of team. My personal choice, Ait-Nouri, is very, very good. Yeah, I think he'd be a popular choice to big up the slot. Ait-Nouri is my favorite. Yeah, I honestly think he'd be a popular choice with Liverpool fans. I don't think we'd be like, oh, we got in Ait-Nouri, like he's not that good. I think we'd be absolutely fine with someone like him. Liverpool 67. Regardless of who leaves, we need 4 players to come in and upgrade on Diaz, Jones, Elliott, Simicast, Robbo, Gomez to go toe-to-toe for EPL. Send all the youngsters on loan. Crikey. You and I both know, Liverpool 67. Excuse me. You know that's not happening. You know that's not happening, man. We can dream, and we're here to do a bit of dreams today. But you know the likelihood that isn't realistically going to happen. Pass completion, pretty good. Successful take-ons, tackles, pretty good. I found that interesting that he ranked pretty highly for that. And even the ones that he doesn't rank in, when I'm looking like touches in attacking penalty area, 1.85 per game anyway. Blocks, he still makes 1.17, even though that's ranked low. Clearances, aerials 1, you know, just under 1 that he wins a game. That's where I say he's an area that he does need to improve upon. Again, it will just depend on how the way that Liverpool play and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I think, again, a solid option. And you can see, as I mentioned before, with the positions that he's played, you know, this season, 36 games, 3 goals, 2 assists, left back, left mid, attacking midfield, as I mentioned before, right mid as well. Like versatile individual, you know, versatile. And I don't feel like we have enough of those left-footed kind of players in the team in general, you know, so to speak. There is Robertson, Kirkes, Estupiñán. Listen, Kirkes is another one. And Kirkes would be more because of Richard Hughes, Bournemouth links and stuff like that. I like Kirkes, and I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think he was on my list. This man, Michael Talks, big up yourself, bro. He was the one that even introduced me to someone like Kirkes when he was still playing for AZ, Outmar, and I was like, oh, yo, this is a top fullback. He is a top fullback. I'm just looking at if he wants to do the inverted thing. Ait-Nouri is the one that you go for in that kind of aspect. But again, Kirkes, Ait-Nouri, and Robinson will be 3 fullbacks that you look at. Now, I don't know how they would score on the metrics. Maybe they might be good. Maybe they might be, you know, whatever. But if they all scored equally, I'd still go with Ait-Nouri. I can't even lie to you, man. I love the fact that he's so comfortable coming in field, and he's actually good on the ball. And he's not even a bad defender. Like, it's not like I'm looking at him thinking you're all tech but no defensive nous about you. He's actually calm. Ali A very techie fullback who in any system would thrive. I agree. Every time he goes up against Salah, that's what I'm saying, bro. This is what I'm saying. And I see Wolves selling him. Yeah. That's why I think Wolves might be a club you might want to just look at. Are there any players, the Kilmans and stuff like that? Are there any of those kind of guys that we could potentially, you know, do that? They play Kirkes. Yeah. And again, so maybe that link might still be there. What do you guys think, though, in regards to, obviously, I know we're talking about, I remember I mentioned Gertrude before. Obviously, if he came in, he understands the system and stuff like that. But what do you think about managers bringing in players that they've already managed? Because we noticed that Pep Guardiola hasn't done that at Manchester City. Klopp hasn't done that at Liverpool. We've seen, obviously, Ten Hag has done that, you know, where he's brought in players that he's managed before. Do you think it works like that? Like, I'm not saying would you be happy or anything like that, because you know, it's just one of those kind of things. But I always think, I don't know, again, let me know in the chat, and again, if you watch this on the replay, let me know what you think. But I always think it's like a tricky area when you start bringing in players who you've already managed before, because and I don't want to use the Ten Hag thing, but obviously he's a big example of that. But I just think in general, there's a reason why managers don't always tend to do that. I mean, we're not talking like Harry Redknapp, who wants to constantly keep signing Jermaine Defoe and Nico Crenshaw and all these kind of guys. I'm just saying, in like general, in today's kind of football, I always feel you almost stay away, because obviously the team that you're at, that you move to, it's a different team, different, potentially a different league as well. You know what I mean? I always find that one a bit weird. So let me know. Kirk has played on the slot for AZ and went to Bournemouth and now on, and Richard both at LFC. Adolfo Kirk seems to be easing and getting a little Nouri. Yeah. I hear that. Ali A saying 50-50. Yeah, that's what I don't know. That's the one that I always think of. I just think, I don't know, man. But like, you already played under this manager. We're not the same team. We're not the same league. Is that really going to work? Ait-Nouri be perfect, can play left back or left wing back, adventurous in his play and can chip in with goals, but only concern will be tactically, as Slot normally plays with a defensive left back, Anchor or Gertrude. Yeah, I hear it. I fully hear it, and I'm not really opposed to that at all. Sometimes it's dead, sometimes it's good. I hear it. It's 50-50. Also depends on the player's mentality. Agreed. 100% agree. It will all depend on that. Honestly, Jose kept using Matic. How was Matic at Manchester United though? I feel like he started all right and then kind of, just like every Manchester United player who starts all right there, just goes downhill. Yeah, don't worry. I saw that. I'm not a fan of bringing in former players unless they are world-class players already. Yeah, I hear it. I hear it. I fully hear it. I fully hear it. But it's just one thing I've always noticed with Klopp and Pep. They never did that. They never brought in players that they've managed before. Is there a reason behind that? Like if someone knows, like maybe they've spoken about bringing in players that they've potentially managed before, but yeah, that's an area I'm a bit like, because all right, bring in one, don't go bringing in three. I don't want to see Hanko, Gertruda, and what's the striker's name, man? What's his name? Santiago, is it Jimenez? I think that's his name, the striker for Feyenoord. Don't bring all three of those to Liverpool. I don't want to see three signings of the same club. Nah, because I'm just like, you're almost turning us into your club, and our club is a lot bigger than yours. We play in a better league than yours. I don't see that working out at all. I personally, anyway. But you can bring in a couple. Arteta got Jesus and Zinchenko back. Look how that worked. It worked for a season. I would say it worked for a season. But that one, I almost feel like it's a little bit different, because you're not taking like the team's best players. It's not like they took Gundogan, for example. I think they tried, but it's not like they took Gundogan from Manchester City. And I think, as you said there about signing world-class players, you took Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus, good players, but they were like, we don't even mind these kind of guys going. Like, it's not really, you know what I mean? Thiago to Munich from Barca under Pep. How long did he manage him for though? And I feel like he barely played there. But okay, fair enough. You're right. That one worked. We'll use that one. Question G: do you rate Kinsella from Villa? I feel like you're saying Konza, but I don't know who Kinsella is. Kinsell. I don't know who that is. I'm trying to think. I feel like you mean Konza, but I don't know if that's who you actually mean. I think we should just get their striker. That's it. He's pretty decent. He might be on the list. Big up Revenite in the building. But yeah, guys, that is the next one up, and that is 8. I was fully baffed. I was like, bro, who's that? From Villa. I was like, bro, who's that? Konza. I knew. Yes, I thought you were talking about. That's what I was thinking. You meant Konza. Yeah. Do I rate him? I think he's calm. I wouldn't buy him though. I feel like that fee that you'd have to get for someone like a Konza isn't really worth it. No, I wouldn't sign him. Like, if you had to choose between Konza and Gomez, just keep Gomez. They're like the same level. So why would I even bother signing someone like him? But he's good though. But like, we have a Joe Gomez already, in that position. Hey, allow me, man. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? Thiago was that world-class player. Yeah, and this is what I'm talking about. At the time, I wouldn't say he's world-class, but at the time he was very, very good. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Guys, do you remember when Thiago, listen, I might be showing my age here, when Thiago was playing in the under-21 championships for Spain? Do you even remember that Spain team? It was mad. It was actually mad. Liverpool 67. Would you take Tosin to replace Matip, who's a free agent too? That might be a smart deal from Liverpool. That might be a smart one because you could still go out and and I was just about to say this, Ali. Oh, you could still go out and get another centre back, and Tosin would just be that you're just here for not emergencies, but you'll play the Carabao Cup, for example. You'll be the starting centre back for Carabao Cup games alongside a Kwanzaa or alongside someone else, and then you've got your two centre backs. I feel like with Liverpool, you almost need like 5 in every position because I don't trust the injuries that we get. Obviously, we're gonna see next season. We're gonna see quite a lot. Was it just the training methods from Klopp, or are these players just genuinely just injury prone? And then that's when you can start looking at the owners and people like that and saying you are actually just signing injury prone players because you know that they'll be cheap, and you know that they can give you enough in order for you to get the job done in whatever way it needs to be done, patch up jobs. I wouldn't mind a Tosin, especially on a free. I wouldn't mind him as well. I really, really wouldn't mind him. So we have Tosin, Kwanzaa, and get another centre back with Van Dijk and Konate. Yeah, that's how I'll be looking at it. If you got in a Tosin, especially. But maybe we're looking at two centre backs anyway. Do you know who I like actually? Nottingham Forest defender. I haven't put him on the list. What's the Nigerian boy's name, man? In the chat, man, help me out. What's the Nigerian defender's name? What is his name, bro? No, not Murillo. Not him. Nigerian. Let me look now, man. How can I forget my fellow African? What's his name, man? Aina. That's it. There we go. Aina. Yes. I like him, you know. I think he's actually a decent defender. I think he's someone I feel can play centre back, left back, right back. And I actually think he's calm on the ball. I don't know what that fee again would look like. I probably need Nottingham Forest to get relegated to really see what that would look like. But I like him. I think he's actually calm. Yeah, he's both footed as well. He just seems calm. He seems like you would only again, you already have a Joe Gomez, so is there any point in getting more of these kind of players? I don't know, but I almost feel like Joe Gomez feels like he should start. Aina ain't coming to Liverpool and thinking, yeah, I need to be number one. I feel like he'd be calm, being a squad rotation option, and is a very good squad rotation option. Like a Mateus Nunes. I feel like you do need a couple of those who are just calm with their role. I feel like at Liverpool, we got too many guys who I feel want to be starting games, the Harvey Elliott's, the Joe Gomez's, and people of that kind of ilk, where I'm like, you're not that good though, but that might mean that they want to leave. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it's a tricky one. That's always the problem, G. Most clubs in England want crazy fees for their players. This is what I'm saying. I don't know what Nottingham Forest, their owner seems a bit crazy, man. I don't know. I don't know if we want to deal with someone like that, but we'll move on. We will move on. We're on to number 4. Number 4. You guys already know this guy. I think he's a solid right back. I think he's a player at Liverpool. If the deal can be struck, go and get him. You need a right back, you go and get Frimpong. I don't know many good right backs out there, but he seems like one I'd be looking at to go and sign. Frimpong, we've seen what he is doing with Bayern Leverkusen. We've seen it. Physicality, it's all greens over there. Like, bar the strength, which I think would probably get better anyway with time. Top player, like the last couple seasons actually at Bayern Leverkusen. I feel like, yeah, he is a player that Liverpool should 100% be looking at if you are looking for a right back. That's only if you're looking for a right back. I mean, he's been there since 2021. Like, that's like 3 years. Yeah. But the last couple of seasons is where I'd really say, okay, yeah, he's kind of taking his game. Obviously, with Alonso coming in, that's obviously a massive help. But that's just taking his game. Goals, assists, this guy's got them all. Anywhere on that right-hand side, right back, right wing back, right wing, right midfield, he's got that all on lock, in my personal opinion. Dribbling, obviously, really good. Flair, really good. Off the ball, really good. Work rate as well. When I see stuff like that, where you've got the flair but the work rate, I'm like, okay, yeah, do you know what I mean? Like he's not just showing that he's one of them flair players and doesn't want to do the dirty work as well. He does that. He does that quite a lot. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of work, for the team. I like him a lot. You can see here now. You see the bottom parts, the tackles, only 1.22 a game. I guess the context. I guess the way that Leverkusen, realistically play. Progressive carries good, successful take-ons good, touches, shot creating actions, assists, shots he has in games. Like if you're looking for that type of fullback where that's an attacking fullback, I know I know, but wouldn't he also count? Let me double check. He was at Manchester City for the academy and that. That's where he'd come through. Wouldn't he count as a homegrown player? Or is that ship sailed with someone like him? Let me know. I feel like, wouldn't he still count as a homegrown player? I don't know. We need a backup keeper, 2 centre-backs, a CDM, and another attacker, and a left-back. We need loads to do, which is mad. That's crazy to think that we're saying that we need loads to do in the position that we're in. Currently 3rd in the Premier League, back in the Champions League. Team doesn't look too bad, and we're saying that we need more and more players. That's mad. That's mad. So really, and obviously we'll do this come the end of the season where we're going to look at the season. We're going to rate the season. We're going to rate the transfers. We're going to rate the players. It's going to be interesting to see what rating you guys are giving these guys, because really I'm expecting super low scores. With the way that we're talking about some of these players, I'm expecting low scores. I can't lie to you. I can't lie. Honesty's asking question. Let's say you have 150 million. Who would you buy as a centre back that can immediately take over from VVD in 2 years? Silva from Benfica. He'd probably be at the top of my list. Yeah, Silva would be the one I'm looking at. That's the one I think is a leader, mature, really, really good footballer, and he's just a defender. And I think playing maybe alongside let's say he took over VVD, playing alongside a Kwanzaa, who's the ball playing centre back. It's roles reverse now. Now we've got the ball playing centre back, or somewhat ball playing centre back in Virgil van Dijk. He's the leader. And then you've got your brute in, Konate or someone like that. I think it'll be roles reverse. The brute will be the guy. He'd be the lead. He's the one, tough tackles. He's the one, do you know what I mean? And that gets the team going through silly Sami Hyypiä vibes, Jamie Carragher vibes, shouting. Like, he seems like that type of guy. Again, I don't know his personality. Just based on what I've seen him with on the pitch, he seems like that kind of defender. And he's pretty calm on the ball as well. It's not like he's completely out of it. Frimpong, what a player, 100%. EPL tax was bound to happen. Didn't help Chelsea. Didn't help Chelsea, bro. Frimpong is cold. What a player. 100% agree. Defensively, I don't know about him, but yeah, that release clause is nice. Yeah, I'm sure. And someone again, if they can check, I'm sure the release clause is low. I'm sure it's low. And I just think that with the way that Liverpool kind of play, even now, and even if you did want to invert, but I feel like he'd be calmer doing the inverting thing. Maybe not as comfortable as, say, a Gertruda, so to speak, but I still think that he'd be calm enough to do that role. But you know what he gives you on the outside. As I said, right back, right mid, right wing. These are the positions that your right back is playing. And I know we moan at Trent because he slots into midfield and blah, 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 and all of this kind of stuff. But maybe under Slot, it might be a lot different. I mean, 14 goals and 12 assists. Oh, Jesus Christ, bro. Like, you're not seeing them kind of numbers. I'm sorry. Trent was getting the assist, by the way, like in his heyday. Like this was 10 years ago. In his heyday, Trent will be on that 12 assists. Trent is never, ever getting you 14 goals ever in his career, in my personal opinion. I never, ever don't think I would see that. I don't think I'd see that. Michael Talks just said it there. 14 mil. Michael, chat to me, bro. Like, would you sign him for Liverpool? Like, for that fee, would you be calm signing someone like him? Let me know. If he says no, then maybe I'll change my mind. But no, I think that's a fantastic record for your right back to have. Like, it can't not be. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I mean, you guys can see the highlights and stuff like that from him. Like, some of the things that he does. When I watch him play, like, I always think to myself, this guy's not a right back, But then maybe I'm doing the thing that I also used to say about Trent, where you're like, maybe he's not really a right back. Maybe he needs to play somewhere else. But I feel like he'd be given the license to go down the right. Whereas Trent is trying to go into midfield, I'm like, okay, brother, I kind of need you to stay at least on that side, because you're leaving Kanate and Kwanzaa and Gomez and everybody else who plays there. You're leaving them completely isolated, completely isolated. This is where you're going to need your system, though, with someone like a Frimpong, because he does his best work further up the field. So you're going to need your system to really be systeming. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, it's going to need to be on point, because he will bomb forward. I mean, I know he's quick enough to get himself back, but he's not going to always be able to do that. So when he goes bombing forward, you just need to remember it will be the same as Trent. Like I said, I think he's identical. Look at that, Matty. Well, I think he's so identical to Trent in terms of the license that they need in order for them to be a player. But again, that's why I say it all depends on what you're trying to see from your right back next season. Like I said, only if Trent is going to be moving into midfield. If not, and you say Trent is the right back next season, then I don't feel like you necessarily need to then go out and sign a Frimpong, because then you're saying you got Trent, you got Bradley. Whereas I look at him and say, if you're signing a right back, sign him. Bradley, you can still be the backup. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Frimpong, best Ghanaian playing for the Netherlands. Yeah, for real, man. I wish Ghana had got him. The only way I see us getting him is Trent leaves, which I don't want to happen. No, I think he could still. Trent will just have to be a midfielder next season. And this is what I'm saying. This is only if Trent is moving into midfield. Will he count? Yeah, this is what I'm asking. Will he count as homegrown? And these are the things I'm also thinking about, because I'm sure obviously Nat Phillips going to bounce. A couple other players might bounce as well. Like, what's that homegrown last season? Remember last summer, guys? And big up Hussam. Remember Hussam, if you're watching, we was talking about homegrown this and homegrown. That was like a big thing last summer, because we were worried, like, oh man, we might not. These times we signed no English players in the summer. We didn't sign one English player in the whole summer. In fact, we let go of Carvalho. We had Morton out on loan again. We didn't sign no English players. So clearly, all of that was just BS, if I'm being honest. KLN, great player, but I don't think we will sign a right back this summer, and not a priority. I hear it. 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 Christian saying Frimpong is great, but ain't he a right wing back though? Yeah. 100% great wing back. Football Talk. This is the right back, homegrown as well, so he fits the quota, has everything in his locker to excel. Yeah, man. I just don't want, I'm just annoyed. I just don't want City to be like, oh, let's go and sign Frimpong. Like, I don't really want that to kind of happen. Like, and then we're all cussing ourselves saying, oh my days. Like, yeah, honestly said so. Yeah, okay, cool. If we're saying Celtic as well, yeah, for Celtic, that's where obviously he made his kind of mark in football. 9 goals and 7 assists in the Bundesliga this season. Pacho, yeah, I know Michael Talk spoke about him. I'd have to watch him more. So again, check out Michael Talk's football. I know he's probably spoken about him already. So yeah, definitely go check him out. Euro was one player I did look at. The only problem I thought about with Euro is, how much is that brother going to cost? I would love to have Lenny Euro in our team. Solid centre back, young as well. But yeah, how much is that going to cost you? I would even loan him back out to, if I'm being super honest. So yeah, and we know Liverpool, I don't know if we're going to do all of that. He was at City for 2.5 seasons. He's half a year off being homegrown. Swear. He's half a year. Let me check. But wouldn't, obviously being at Celtic, does that not count? Or does it have to be England? Like, has to be England. Can't be like the UK. Diamonde and Silva will be 2 centre-backs. I want us to get perfect balance. Yeah, of course. Imagine Liverpool centre-back partnership being those two. Whew, that's solid. That is solid. That's solid. Too late now. He's too late now. 2 years, 23. Yeah, true. But no, but wouldn't that still count though? Because he'd still be if he was considered homegrown, would it still not count regardless of the age? Don't mean we have to turn on Football Manager and double check. Frimpong 14 goals, Gramado 11. Bro, this is what I'm saying, man. And remember, we gassed up Trent and Robbo, rightly so, for getting assists. These brothers are getting assists and goals. I don't know, man. Do you know what I mean? Maybe you can, as a right back, no. So where are you playing him, brother? Where are you playing him? Honestly, you know what's mad? Coleman refused to call him up until now. Imagine if Frimpong picked Ghana instead. Yeah, but he probably knew my time was kind of coming. Defensively, he's not good enough, but going forward, he's electric. So Trent. So basically, like I said, he's Trent. He's Trent. Reverend, I agree. Trent more about the assists with a few goals sprinkled in. Yeah, like I said, Frimpong and Trent are exactly the same player. Only difference is one is very good at this side of the game in terms of scoring goals. The other one is excellent at passing and getting assists. Do you get what I'm saying? So, yeah, it depends. Federico Di Marco, left wing back, only 26. If you're selling Simicast, then Robbo backup. Very good option there. Very, very, very good option. Frimpong is the perfect right wing back. Yeah, I guess it may be in a system where we played you need cover from two centre backs. Maybe I guess if we had like Amarim or Alonso, maybe that would have worked in that kind of regards. Maybe that's what we're saying, but we'll see. We'll see. Honestly, Bastoni, yep. I know everyone's. Yeah, I remember you put this up about Sepp van den Berg, honesty, in the super chat the other day. Big up for that, by the way. Liverpool, what if this guy's the answer? Maybe, but I almost feel like I'd rather just sell him now. Like I can get some good money for this guy. Yeah, I'd rather just think Celtic doesn't count. Fair enough. Big up Angel. Good afternoon, good morning, afternoon to yourself. We have Bradley who has potential. I don't see us signing a right back. Yeah, but is Bradley it though, guys? Like, come on, guys. Here, G, we do honestly, man. Like, is Bradley, no pun intended, but is Bradley really the one, guys? Like, when we see all of these right backs, is he the one that we're gonna? I'm not saying don't, by the way, and think for yourselves and say what you want to say. This is a safe space. Do you get what I'm saying? But like, is he the one really that we're looking at and saying, yeah, man, that's the guy for the future? Like, really? Watch Chelsea signing. I don't know. No, I don't know. You got Manu Gusto, who can obviously he plays there. You've got Reece James. Lord knows what the hell Reece James is even doing with his life right now. I don't know. If I could, and I would go to Barca, pay 95 plus 10 for Arujo. He's for me next up. I don't know if I rate Arujo that much. I don't rate him that much. And I'm a Barca fan, but not that much. I don't think Liverpool buy right back as it will block Bradley's path. Hey, forget about the blocking thing, bro. What you think? You think Foden cared that Man City were buying players to block his path? Nah, man, you make your own path. You make your own path for these things, man. And if you're good enough, there's a path for you. Always will be a path for you. Trust me. And really and truly, there's not many players that obviously I know there's going to be ones like Erdegaard, for example. Although that's like a bit of an anomaly because at Real Madrid, it's Real Madrid. They've blatantly got way better players anyway. We're not in a Real Madrid type of team. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not like we've got Casemiro in his prime and Toni Kroos and Modric and all of these kind of guys. Like, yeah, listen, if you're good enough, man, you'll be fine. Big up Pops in the building. Hope you're doing well. Euro, yeah, we spoke about Euro a little bit there. I think Euro is a very good player. That fee in my mind is going to be crazy. But watch the fee be super calm. Watch a team like Crystal Palace next season. I know that sounds dumb, right? But Crystal Palace, boy, the way that they've been playing, slap Man United 4-0, the way that they've been moving under this new manager, they're a team, by the way. Just if they get things right in the summer and they can keep Elise and Eze, I know I'm going off topic, but if they keep those two, I think they can be like Chelsea. They can get when things start to click for those type of teams. Yeah, I think it's going to be crazy. The dream is the Nesta regen Bastoni. I know, guys, but you guys told me that these Italians don't leave. You know what I mean? So I tried to stay away. Try to go to the Ghanaian and see if I can appeal to him. Pops, Lloyd Kelly on a free from the Cherries can play it. Yeah, he was actually someone I looked at, Lloyd Kelly. But I just think that maybe in the last couple seasons kind of regressed a little bit, especially this season. I don't feel like he's really gone on a level. So I don't know where that kind of sits for someone like a Lloyd Kelly. But, not to say that we might just go cheap and cheerful. Calvin Ramsey. Listen, last time I saw that guy, man, he was in central London doing up nothing. So I don't know what he's been on recently. Revenite, not 100% on Bradley. I like him, but I think Arnie will give him a full season to impress, or at least till Jan. Yeah, I'm not saying sell Bradley, by the way. I'm not saying it's not like a Nico Williams situation, but it could turn into a Nico Williams situation where you're saying, if I'm not playing, I might as well just go. Do you get what I'm trying to say? That's where Calvin Ramsey will start to come back in. Now Chelsea got Sean Paul at right back. He does look like Sean Paul, can't lie. Angel, yeah, Bradley's quality. This is his first Premier League season. Yeah, I hear that. We haven't even seen Ramsey play a lot, so can't tell if he's good enough. Fez, Aruja has so many bozo moments. Yeah, man. Yeah, like he's good, man. He is blatantly good, but I don't know, man. I would not pay that fee for him. Let's put it to you like that. I wouldn't be looking at that. I also like Ian Matson as a left back option. Yeah, but Savage tried to shut that down, so I just left that one. He told me nah, so I just said, forget. If people rate Bradley that highly, yeah, no, we'd have to wait and see. Football talk. I think we need an upgrade on Bradley, but I may be of a minority. No. I'm with you, my pro. I'm with you. I don't see the hype like that everyone else keeps talking about, but I'm also here to be proven wrong. Bradley has got game intelligence more than Gomez has had ever. That's a lie, because Gomez in that season that we won the Champions League, phenomenal. Glasner, yeah, I didn't even know anything about him, bro. But and when he came in, you know what? It almost come like Iraola for Bournemouth. You know, when you like a manager comes in, you don't know. De Zerbi at Brighton last season, you don't know nothing. Well, De Zerbi had a bit more hype actually because he was at Sassuolo and obviously Shakhtar, so maybe his profile was a tad bit bigger, so to speak. But those two, when they came in, you're just like, who the hell is this guy? But they play good football. Like Palace are actually playing good. Palace have got Mateta looking like, someone said it, prime R9. I was like, maybe not that good, but he step overs and finish with the left foot. I said, what's going on? What is going on? But listen, sometimes when you're in a good moment, man. Pops is saying they won't keep Elise and Eze, unfortunately, for Palace. I don't know. I think that's going to be interesting this summer, because Palace are a club that I think that you're going to have to pay, like a West Ham. Those kind of clubs, if you don't pay the money, Declan Rice, if you don't want to pay the money, we'll just keep the guy. And I don't think that the players are going to put up too much of a fuss like how you would think. If people rate Bradley so high, you don't watch enough football, because he's just a start at the moment. It's just opinions, man. It's just opinions. You get what I'm trying to say? If you think he's good, then you think he's good. I don't think he's that good. I think he's good. Okay, if I had to say, and we'll use Football Manager terms purely because we've got the Football Manager stats and stuff here. If I had to use like a star rating, I would say he's like a 2-star player now with a potential for 4 stars. So yeah, and I think that's calm. 2-star player, like that's super calm for your backup right back anyway. Like, why wouldn't you have something like that? Get Van der Ven. Don't think the Spurs are going to give him. Christian saying, I like Bradley, but we have to see what he does next season. To be honest, Bradley was thrown in the deep end in Jan and held it down, so I think he's good enough. Just needs to prove himself to be a starter. Listen, man, some people either sink or swim. Let's see what he does next season. G is on Bradley watch. Yeah, bro, listen, I promise you, next season, wherever Jerry is, or Thiago, whatever he wants to call himself, he knows. I said, yeah, my lenses will be on. See these glasses? I'm getting upgrades soon. And when I do, that Bradley watch is going to be, there's a lot of players like that, to be fair. I watch a lot of football. Bradley has had 2 man of the match performances for Liverpool in a small amount of games, but he isn't good. I don't know if you're saying he is or not. Eze, aka Callum, Elise, aka Ends, cooked. You're a madman. Damn, I thought you lot would have snapped up Elise. It took too long. Yeah, I know, man. Elise is a good player, man. But yeah, like I said, Frimpong was the other player. So let's move on to our final player today. This one I thought about for a minute. This was when I was going through the list last night, I couldn't find a 5th player. Then when I went through the list this morning, I still couldn't find one. Sorry, I got a sweet tooth like no tomorrow. And I thought, yo, you know what? This is the player I've always liked for time, but had injury problems, was at Roma, had some issues. But this season, Calafiori with Bologna, oh my God, I think he's been solid. Anyway. Don't know what you guys think about him, but yeah, I think he has been a solid player. Can play left back, can play centre back. Yeah, he's such a solid defender, in my opinion. And I think, obviously, again, I know Thiago Motta and Michael Talks probably would be the best person to ask in terms of style of play and stuff like that. But from big up Strasbourg Steve, we watched the game Bologna versus Roma. Bologna slapped them, like the way they was playing. And that was like one of the first few times I'd watched them for a full 90. Before I'd like caught glimpses here and there, and I've been watching a lot of videos. And guys, I advise you to do the same. I watch a lot of videos on like managers and their style of play, just to see like what the hype is about, and you know, all of these, just to get like a little inkling as to, oh, okay, so this is what they do over there. That might be interesting, especially when Liverpool looking for a new manager. I was just looking at all the different managers, and Thiago Motta came up, and I was like, I don't know, man. Like, good player, obviously, but when he was playing, but let me see the style of play. I watched that Bologna versus Roma game, and I said, yo, but Calafiori for me, anyway. Forget that game in isolation. In general, I think he's such a solid player. But I've been watching him, but again, like I said, he picked up injury beforehand, so he was out for a hot minute, and I was just like, okay. So you know, it just goes to like the back of your mind. Top player, man. Top defender. Aggression good, anticipation good, off the ball, positioning, teamwork, work rate. And you know what's so mad about? And obviously you can see the heat map, left-sided player. Obviously the system that Bologna play as well. When I look at someone like him, I always think to myself, like, you know what? I think you're like, again, I take this back to Football Manager. And by the way, Football Manager, if you're hiring, I'm always available. I've got my credentials. Yeah, I mean, you can check the statistics. It's all there. I think like with someone like a Calafiori, when you look at say like these kind of attributes, and again, this is just little, yeah, I mean, tongue-in-cheek kind of stuff. But when you look at these kind of statistics, these are like calm statistics for someone of like his kind of, I think he's 21, someone of his like kind of age, right? I almost feel like in time, they will shoot up. They will absolutely shoot up. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And I think that's why I've always wanted someone like him. But like I said, it's only really been this season that I've really taken note of him, because I completely forgot about him. He was someone, old school Football Manager, you would remember him. And I was like, oh yeah, Calafiori. Yeah, I used to always sign him, and he would turn. But in my saves, he used to always be a left back. So I used to keep him there. Then obviously he's playing a lot more centre back here for Bologna, and I was just like, okay, say no more. He's playing predominantly the centre back. I never saw him as that. I thought he'd be a better fullback, but clearly he's obviously showing that. Got himself 4 assists in 35 games this season. As I said, you can see with the heat map what he's all about. And then, yeah, I looked at this kind of stuff and I was like, obviously this is compared to other centre-back, interceptions, tackles, aerials won, successful take-ons, progressive carries, passes attempted, assists. Like, I was like, yo, like this looks like one of those, he looks like one of those signings that you're almost like, interesting signing from Liverpool. That doesn't seem like a signing that they would make, so to speak, but he might even turn out to be the best signing that you make, especially in that centre back position. So that's why I kind of went, you know, that's why I kind of went for someone like him. But I really like Calafiori, man. I think he's definitely a player that I would look to sign in the summer. Let's see what these comments. G getting them glasses that are like an inch thick that make your eyes look mad. Yeah, of course. What do you mean? Of course. I've been watching Gomez for 10 years, still waiting for a top tier wing back game. I hear it. Okay, I agree with that. Not just defending. Give me something going forward. Perfect number 2 after Trent Bradley. Man, okay, yeah. Max, I can agree with you that one still. I can agree with that one. That's my point though, Angel. He's only played a handful of games to judge, and we want him first teamer permanent. Too early. Let him develop. I agree. It's not about every player coming through has to be a first teamer. No. I guess you almost listen. We live in a world, right, where there's Gavis, there's Pedris, there's Musialas, Bellinghams. Heck, even the Gravenberches, Yamal, Ardagulas, and there's so many of these players that when we look at Fodens, Sakas, because these are like, and obviously Liverpool haven't really had one of those, you know, so to speak. Maybe Trent, that was like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Trent being one, and Trent wasn't those guys. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Trent was never started out like those guys did, where you're like wonder kid. And right now is living up to that potential. Trent was never a wonder kid. Trent was just a decent, somewhat player who played in the academy. He was like Liverpool's player in the academy, but never that kind of guy. He just grew into the dominant, you know, top class player that we see today. So we all want the wonder kid. And listen, I want the wonder kid. I want the kid that you're saying this, like for example, Estavio. as they call Messinho, as they want to call him. I want someone like him, Wonder Kid. Can he fulfill his potential at Liverpool? Endrick, Wonder Kid. Can he fulfill his potential, you know, at Real Madrid? Like, I want these kind of players. Of course I do, man. Like, I don't want to, I'll be honest, going through this whole list, not to even be disrespectful to any of these guys, but these ain't the guys. Maybe Scalvini, maybe Scalvini being one of them. Well, I don't even know if I'd really call him a Wonder Kid, but let's just say I did. He'd be the only one, but the rest, I'm like, nah, I want the Wonder Kid, bro. I want the guy that we're saying we've got our own Wonder Kid, and not just to have a Wonder Kid, but Wonder Kids, obviously, they're called that for a reason because they are a wonder kid. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So you want those guys and then be able to fulfill the potential at your own football club. Do you get what I mean? So, yeah. Calafiori plays for Bologna. Check him out, man. Check him out. Like I said, YouTube, it's always there. YouTube is always there. See if you like him from just the little bits that you see from him. Yeah. Check him out, man. He's a really, really good player. Really good player. Christian Bun Somerville, get me. Oh, guys, if you haven't seen my player watch, go check it out because Dure, solid left winger, but we can play left wing, attacking midfield. You can play central midfield as a box to box. I've seen him play deep line playmaker as well. I don't know what his price tag would look like. Solid player. France is one place in Europe that I've seen anyway, in Europe, that I've seen have so many young players coming through. So many young players. Like, and they don't all play for the top teams. PSG have a good factory, of course, but they don't all play for the top teams. So definitely check out France. If you're looking for any like really good talent coming through. Honestly saying Leverkusen plan to keep Hincapié this summer. Club value him around 50 mil and he's contracted until 27. However, Hincapié will be open to Premier League offers should they arrive. Let me know. Would you sign him for 50 mil? Forget Somerville, please. Yeah, I hear that. Get Kudus ASAP before anyone else. Mane regen. Yeah, I think with the Somerville one, it's like he's all right. Like he is calm, but yeah, nah. Just nah. Just no. The Bologna dude, he sounds like Tyson Fury, brother. Callum Fury, flipping out. Bradley was the best player on the pitch against Chelsea and Norwich. Yes, a small amount of games, but it's been impressive for a young fullback. Don't understand the negativity. No, I don't think he's putting negativity. I just think, listen, I don't know. Let me know if you speak for him. If he says, if you think he's being negative, he's being negative. Serious ball player, mid, can invert and play sweeper, big talent. What happened to the Hincapié hype? Yeah, I know. I'd still take him, though. I'd still take him. And I guess it just depends on what we're looking for. Last summer, I felt like we were looking for that, but then we ended up not signing that type of player. So it's like, I guess your things always change. Scalvini of this whole list is the only player that I've had since last season. Yeah, I wanted him last season, and I still want him this season. But obviously, of course, there's going to be other players I still have on my list. If you remember my list from last year, you'll remember a couple of the players, and one player I'm always talking about. Jones was the top wonder kid from my academy. Nah, he wasn't. He wasn't. He was for Liverpool in the world. No, I wouldn't have called him a wonder kid at all. There's not a player on earth who can be a first team at right back at Liverpool apart from Trent. Bradley, perfect when Trent is injured. I hear it. If you have the chance to swap Jones and Elliott for Eze, if you have the chance, I would. He would give me more than those two combined. I feel like that's disingenuous to both Jones and Eze, Jones and Elliott. But I would take Eze. I think Eze is at a higher level than both of those two at the moment. Yeah. Due will be cheaper than Somerville. Yeah, I agree. I hear it. I just don't see him as a left winger though, for some weird reason. I don't feel like that's his best position. Big up Pops. This is the same question I asked everyone the other day on the Enza stream, I think. I said, what happened to Andre? Remember everyone was telling man about Andre? Yeah, Andre's this and he's that. I was never convinced on that guy. But then it's like, it almost come like the Amarim stuff. And this is why I said I wasn't doing any more bloody videos on managers and tactics and all that crap anymore until I see something concrete. Because you're not even there, you get your hopes up. Everyone was trying to convince me till their face turned blue that this guy was the guy. I ain't seen Andre since. Like, people were up watching Andre at flipping 2 a.m. and stuff. I was like, what? You think I'm tuning into Brazilian football at 2 a.m.? No disrespect to Brazilian football. Not to watch Andre anyway. Like, he was not the one I want to watch. Give me Estavio and then the Hendricks. Yeah, I don't mind watching them at them type of times. But to Andre, oh my God. Allow me, man. Allow me. Do we need a DM? I'm in love with Endo. Gives everything when he plays, always performs. battles people, which people might not like, but I love him. Stopping runners, keep him, and buy only Tchouaméni. Cool. Tchouaméni would never ever come to Liverpool. Wouldn't see the point. That's a downgrade in his eyes. And he's at, you know, he's at Real Madrid, man. That's me trying to be as respectful as possible to Liverpool. Just doesn't even make sense. No, bro, Pops and football, bro, you know, man. People were up at 3 a.m. Obviously, I don't know, Pops, what time it would have been your sides, but regardless, people were trying to convince me. Oh my days, like, and I was sitting there thinking, Andre, though, like, I mean, he's not dead, like, he's all right, but I don't think he's that good the way that people were talking. And then we didn't even end up signing him. And then we signed Endo. So, and Andre wouldn't have been a crazy fee, by the way. It's not like Andre was going to be like, oh, like 80 million. Like, I'm sure he would have just cost like under 30, something like along those kind of lines. And we didn't even sign him. Didn't even hear his name once during the summer. It was Decore. Who's other DMs we was looking at? Palinia, Ugarte, like all of the Caicedo. We were looking at all of these guys, and we never looked at the one guy that we kept banging on about. And they just now this season, no one even cares. Yet, you know what, Christian? Who cares? It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even. Varela was another one. Bare people keep talking about Varela. I barely hear anybody talk about. Big up Els though, because Els does speak about Varela every now and again. I know she's still got her stocks in someone like Varela. Question G: would you swap Elliot for Paqueta? Yep. ASAP. Wouldn't even blink. Again, trying to not be too disrespectful, but yeah, like Elliot, Paqueta, you're basically getting Elliot, but way better, like way better. Andre became a ghostwriter for Drake. Hey, hear what I'm saying, my brother? Just leave Drake alone. You know what I'm saying? Just leave Drake alone. That'd be smart business. Yeah, could be. It blatantly could be. But guys, that's obviously my list. We'll run through that list again. Just change that. So, who do we got? Who do we got? So, we've obviously got Gertruda, centre back, right wing back, decent player, played under Arne Slot, of course, for Feyenoord, knows the system, knows what it's all about. Could be someone potentially fee-wise. Don't think it would be too much. Then we've got Ait-Nouri of Wolves, left back, left wing back, can obviously play attacking midfield, you know, if we needed him to do that. Comfortable on the ball, great in possession, can probably chip in with a few goals. Then we've got Frimpong, Mr. Goals and Assist himself, Mr. Output. You need output from a fullback or a wing back, whatever you want to call him. This is probably one of the best players on the planet to do so. Great going forward, as Michael says, and I'm going to take that word for it, which is defensively might not be the greatest, but if you don't really care about all of that, then you know it is what it is. Scalvini, my number one choice. Definitely a player I would love Liverpool to go in for. Centre back, can slot into DM position if you need him to. Comfortable coming out with the ball. Good in possession, decent passer of the ball, comfortable in wide areas. Definitely someone to look at. And then, of course, Calafiori. This more or less the same as the Scalvini, just really on the left-hand side. Maybe not so much going into like a DM, but can play centre-back, can play left-back, doesn't mind pushing himself forward. Isn't someone I think he's more defend first than attack first. And I think that might even be a little bit important depending on how Slot wants to set up the team and, you know, everything like that. But yeah, those are my players. Guys in the chat and everybody out there, let me know, of course, what you guys think. In regards to some of the players that I've mentioned, the ones that I've not mentioned as well. Like I said, there's like honorable mentions, like then Silvers from Benfica. Of course, I would pick someone like him. Alphonso Davies, I would love if there's like a cut price deal that we can sort out for someone like him. Then of course you go out and do things like that. Yeah, and there's probably like a host of others that I haven't really named. I take Nouri first out of all of these. I hear it. Hasheen, are you hoping for a domino effect when Real sign Mbappe and Davis, then somehow we have a chance on signing either Valverde or Tchouaméni? Of course. What, like, is that even a question? What, to sign Valverde or Tchouaméni? Of course, man. Those are definitely players I would, you know what I mean, I would love Liverpool to go in for, but realistically, I don't know, you know, in terms of those kind of things. Christian, sorry, Palinia not being good this season. Watch all his games this year, very slow. Yeah, Palinia, I don't know. Fulham have not been good, though, to be fair, this season. Who's the player we were linked in from Gabby Viega. Gabby Viega. I'd still take Gabby Viega now, to be fair. I'd actually still take Gabby Viega. Right-sided central mid. Basically the same kind of position as an Elliot. I'd still take him now, to be fair. Yeah, I still take him now. I still take him now. But we have Elliot. So I'm kind of like, I don't know. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I stick by it. Paulinho is a very good player. Yeah, I still think he's a good player. Yeah, I still think he's a good player. I just think Fulham have been absolutely awful this season. But guys, as I said, make sure you're smashing the like. Make sure you do share and subscribe. Love to everybody who's joined me this morning. It's now, what, 12 o'clock as well. Good little stream, hour and a half. I'll be back tomorrow. Back tomorrow morning. Obviously, today we're looking at defensive targets. Tomorrow, we're going to do midfield targets. So please, please, please get your targets in. Message me. Drop them after the video is finished. Obviously, just drop the targets and everything in, players that you think that we should be going for, etc., etc. And then, yeah, we'll take it from there, man. But I hope everyone does enjoy the rest of their day. I'm G, and we are